Well, actually, we've seen a few people go for something because two-base play for Protoss is so common on this map. People will like try and fake aggressively the two-base play to the point where they can then fall back and try and take a third and feel a bit more secure. But by doing that, by faking it, you sometimes open up the floodgates to a lot of Zerg units, and then defending a third can be also tricky even through that avenue. So,
oh yeah,
difficult.
Well, down in the bottom left, one of the most inspiring Protoss players in the world, and I believe, is he the all-time #1 money-earning player in StarCraft 2?
I think he still is. I don't want to check that, actually.
Either way, his name is SKMC.
And spawning up in our top right-hand corner here as our red Zerg, he goes by the name of Azubu's viOlet. And yes, he is the highest earning player still by 20k.
Wow. Freaking incredible.
Mm.
And it's so funny to think that we have the second all-time money earner playing next. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, it's true. It really is. It's MVP just being absolutely dominant for the longest time and suffering a little bit from hand injuries and stuff, but we'll see how he fares against Gosu user later on.
Well, thus far, we're seeing the pretty typical early expand, the pretty typical pool on 14, etc., Kalaris.
Yeah, there's not much else we can really say other than that. I've got to say myself, it's... Oh wow, look, a Pylon at the front of the base. I wonder what C is going to get up to.
I want to take this opportunity to ask you if you've played any of the other Blizzard single-player campaigns, like the RTS single-player campaigns, because for me, Warcraft 2 is still one of my favorite all-time single-player games ever.
I would agree, actually. Yes, it's very, very good. I liked the one that was Beyond the Gate. You know, when you went into the... was it Tides of Darkness?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Because there was the campaign initially, and then there was the one where you went through the gate, and that was awesome. I really enjoyed that.
Such a great series, and in fact, I posed this question recently on Twitter, and it seemed that the largest, most popular segment was the was Warcraft 3 single player, which I realized I have not played all the way through. I think I did 2 of the races. Incredibly crisp single player. I got thinking about it after seeing the speed run that Railcoon did of beating StarCraft on brutal difficulty in 3.5 hours.
Yeah,
It was really awesome.
yeah. I enjoyed actually the single player campaign for in StarCraft 2. It was really, really good, especially on brutal as well. But you know, the Warcraft 3 one was awesome. I liked Frozen Throne as well. Frozen Throne was pretty cool. Did you play
Gosh.
3? Sorry, the one.
I didn't. I need to go back and play that, reinstall it.
Yeah, good stuff.
In
So-
the meantime, nothing surprising's happened.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Most notably, we're seeing MC about to be at the big decision juncture. Is he going to be getting the +1 attack? Is he going to be going for the warp gate? This first 100 gas is really critical. It looks a little bit, though, like he is going to be going for that sentry.
Mm-hmm. Well, it may be doing so. It's
Oh, I'm mistaken. It's a +1 attack upgrade.
well, you know, it's funny because there was a lot of points where you would see Protoss nowadays actually just going for the sentry and foregoing the first zealot to actually start walling things off, which was pretty cool. But then some Zergs started exploiting that themselves, saying, "Oh, you're not going to go for the first zealot? I'll just make a few Zerglings and run on in." And that was really, really annoying. And it would normally happen on maps like Cloud Kingdom, where you actually had the vision with the Overlord, and not so much on this map. But it still can happen with slow Zergling runs.
You know, it's kind of funny just to see viOlet not quite sure where to place those overlords. There's one at the extreme far left. Only the overlord that's really at the bottom is a useful overlord position. Everywhere else is kind of It's very odd map. And there's the fast Stargate. Yes! Yes!
Ooh.
Now, let's talk about fast Stargates. The old school way to go fast Stargate is to open up with the Void Ray and then follow up with additional Phoenixes.
Mm-hmm.
However, we're seeing the Phoenix only opening rise in popularity.
Yeah, I'm loving the Phoenix only opening. 4 Phoenix, magic number to start picking off queens in 1 lift up, which is really, really important. And then if you by chance find a rich Overlord vein to nibble away at with your small Phoenix pickaxes, then you can kill off quite a few of them. And with that, it really adds a huge amount of hindrance. Even just forcing spore crawlers at these locations is a hindrance in itself.
Look at that Void Ray. We don't get to see Void Rays anymore. It's so thrilling. I mean, really, MC is one of the big pioneers of using Void Ray and Phoenix in this matchup effectively, and continues to be so. A lot of people will get, 1 Void Ray and 2 or 3 Phoenixes. He just gets like 7 Phoenixes and 3 Void Rays, like really commits. Like there's Void Ray 2 coming right up.
Oh, wow. I wonder where he's actually going to go with this. I mean, is there the potential that he can couple this up with the Gateway Poke? Is that what he aims to do? Or is this something that can transition on?
Yeah, it can transition on, but this is very much so I want to do a big attack, and there's the pylon at the far right side. Void Rays to clear out the watchtowers, get vision control, all the goody goodness.
I'm liking the Void Rays. Again, we talked about it before. He's got a 3rd Void Ray queued up actually here, so MC is really going balls to the wall with his Void Ray production, and it could catch viOlet off guard here. And warping in on the high ground will be so fantastic. You're right.
Oh, holy cow! Is he really going to go for a high ground warp in? I think that he could do something like Sentry like crazy, and just do the huge air focus. That would be so cheesy. I love that. And there's the Sentry.
Oh, but at the same time, that Overlord did see the pylon, so viOlet has kept some units up on the high ground, realizing this is a potential threat, and he will now move forward with some of these roaches, killing off those units. This has relatively failed for MC at the back, but will it succeed at the front with these Zealots now mashing away at these roaches?
This is going to be so hard, because the instant that there's too much commitment outside of the main, you know that there's going to be a big warping by MC with that force field.
Yeah, you're just trying to draw him away, distract him at the front, so once again he can exploit at the back. It's so important. And look at this, viOlet taking the precautions, leaving some roaches at the back, making sure that he can't do that. Probably just start berating away at that pylon as well, just to limit exactly what MC can do in this situation.
That's a very low health Void Ray. We'll be pulling back. Excuse me. So at this point in time, MC does need to transition out. He needs to do something else. His Robo facility was already in production, but those Void Rays are not going to be particularly useful for the next little stretch of the game, so he's just going to scout in every single direction for any Overlord that he can, and at least get some value out of those. But as time goes on, the Void Rays become an increasingly wasted investment.
Yeah, it's an important thing here for MC. Well, again, the Immortals are super, super important here, but just wait a minute. He's got so many sentries back at home. It almost looks like some kind of crazy... Is this a second wave of some kind of all-in? He's got 8 gateways. Does he... I mean, technically he should expand off this, right? That's the normal transition, but...
Dude, it's the Elfie build. You go all in, and then pull back, and then go all in again with more gateways.
It's true, it is the Elfie build.
Elfie does that all the frickin' time. I mean, the Immortal Sentry build is just so effective, and then with these Void Rays to control space and to force a little more units. What? Hydralisks? Oh, yeah! Alright!
Wow. Well, yeah, that's a bit of an interesting deviation here from viOlet. Meanwhile, though, he's mixing in the Spires. That's always good once you go for those Hydralisks, because you're always going to incur the wrath of the fiery death of Thermal Lancers if you're not too careful with that. And he's still controlling the middle of the map. The Void Rays do have to flee away from...
These queens are getting a little over-eager. Those queens should probably be at home doing some injects or some creep spreading. Got a little megalomania there. A little illusion that they are, in fact, the key part of the fighting force. But in reality, this Roach Hydra force is going to run up into a wall of Sentry, Zealot, Immortal, and those queens are going to have to turn right back around.
You're right. viOlet just cannot... If he pokes up the ramp there at all, he dies instantaneously. There's too much firepower there. And, well, MC actually has a pylon right next to this hatchery morphing in, but he doesn't see the hatchery. Just barely out of range for that pylon's vision, so...
Oh, wow. No one is aware of each other at all.
No, apparently not.
Well, at this point in time, Zergling Hydralisk is the core composition. that a Violet is going to have to make in this spot. He knows his opponent is on largely gateway units and Immortals. That is the most perfect response. This entire army from MC is designed to kill roaches, but there's just really not that many roaches.
I don't... the MC feels exactly the same way about this map as we do. It's just so hard to actually take a third base and hold on to it. So he's just like, well, I'm going to make a giant army and attack, and it's going to be fantastic. But look at the concave Violet has set up. There's no way he can go down that ramp and effectively try and cut everything off with force. Well, actually, he has a lot of force fields. Probably could, but...
I mean, even with all those force fields, with the Hydra and Ling firepower, he might just turn this into Protoss pudding in a matter of seconds. MC trying to make sure he engages at a good angle. That is as good an angle as MC's going to get. He has to make huge use and get incredible value out of that position, but still not that much was gained. The Zerglings can slip out. More spine crawlers are being made.
God, did you see how quickly the frontal units melted away, though, for the Protoss force? You have to be so careful when engaging into this location, with +2 on the way as well. More spine crawlers going to go down for Violet as MC tries to wiggle around this map, tries to find a place to exploit. This is a better angle for him. He can seal off things really nicely there.
And we're seeing the Hydra Roach, though, sweep around to the left. Overlord on the Hydra gets taken out. This third base, I actually think Violet just has to sacrifice it.
Yeah, there might be that potential. He's going to put it on a small force. He's catching a few of those Hydralisks. That's a lot of gas investment here that Violet doesn't want to waste. But he ends up doing so anyway, and still more units warping in for MC. He's actually evening up the supply counts, but, well, Violet rockets up once again. And MC is just going to max out on 2 base, kill this base off, and going to continue going for now.
Wow. This is a completely unheard of situation. The 16-minute all-layer tech. We're seeing mass spine out of Violet, who's now down to 55 workers. Violet is spotting a third base, but not the third base that he really needs to be monitoring.
Once a direct engagement comes, though, Violet just has so many Hydralisks. That's a huge amount of DPS. 27 Hydralisks coupled with 33 Roaches against basically an army that melts instantaneously to Hydralisks unless the force fields are pristine. It's going to be so hard. Wait, the 2 Mutalisk switch, Day9.
Alright, he's building a pair of Mutas, but that's only because he's supply blocked. He's trying to deal with this warping on the right side. And there's an attempted repush. God, look how many units MC has. Just an astounding amount of units, but those poor Hydralisks are still a little bit jelly of their future HOTS Hydralisks that have that little speed upgrade. But that's fine. They're going to stick to the creep and try to look fast and cool and healthy.
Yep, they are, and for now they're keeping good hands on their lives. They're keeping themselves quite happily alive. MC's still trying to wiggle around, still trying to kill off these bases. If he could kill off this expansion, actually, he'd be restricting Violet to, exactly the same amount of bases that he's technically on. And his army is so formidable right now. But, actually, he doesn't have +2 or +3. Well, obviously he doesn't have +3, but he doesn't have +2 at all. That's not common, MC.
Wow, that's quite late on the upgrades for the Protoss player. We see now the pair of Mutalisks went into the main base, and wow, it's expanded to 4 Mutalisks.
They've been breeding.
At this point in time, it looks like all Violet is doing is building up lots and lots and lots of spine crawlers, trying to transition over onto Mutalisks.
I don't mind the Muta transition, though, to be honest with you. I mean, if he kills off enough Stalkers, look how much gas he actually has to pile into Mutalisk play. And that is going to catch MC actually pretty off guard. He doesn't know really... Where is the Spire? No, he doesn't know about the Spire. Didn't those 4 Mutalisks show themselves? They did.
Yeah, the 4 Mutalisks did a little bit of harassment in the main. There's a nice Contaminate on that Robo facility. Still, in my eyes, the most underused ability in the game, the Contaminate. And now this is a weird angle. This is a good concave, but Violet has to be careful because he has slow units.
Yes, this is still stacking up on the left-hand side. Meanwhile, the push is coming. He throws down a few force fields here, catches 1 or 2 Roaches, and they get obliterated instantaneously. The Mutalist is still trying to poke in, but there's a few Stalkers there for MC to deal with it. 200 supply. Both players were relatively on 2 base for a long time. It's not often you see that, but that's the kind of dynamics this map can bring to the table.
This is a just weird game, and now it looks like the right expansion is going to have to be sacrificed. Violet needs to answer quickly and bring all those home. He does.
Oh.
More spine crawlers bound to go up. Looks like a counterattack.
Yep. Looks like he just wants to go straight for the base trade once again, but both players have so many minerals backed up here. If it does go to that base trade scenario once again, then there's gonna...
No way.
Rare.
What a crazy turn of events. What is happening? Long-range mining from viOlet, and now MC's trying to bust through all these spine crawlers. There's going to have to be mass Mutalisk production rallied far away from all these units because the production center is about to get annihilated.
Yeah, it's going to get completely dunked here. He's trying to now move forward, killing off the natural, will kill off the Protoss natural, and meanwhile, MC is pushing up to the north. I don't think MC can actually... it's going to be so hard for him to actually win unless he catches out a lot of these units like off guard. Because there's going to be tons of Mutalisks out. There's going to be 17. And dealing with those as well as the Hydralisks, the Mutalisks will target down the Colossi. They're going to die super quickly. And then from that point on, this is going to get... I can't call this either way, actually. It's just going to get insane.
Oh my god, the Mutalisks picked off the probes that are trying to hide buildings. There's a pylon that did manage to successfully get planted in the middle of the map. There's two probes trying to wander southwestward. Uh-oh, Mutalisks need to get into a good position. I think viOlet is in a slightly better position, but his drones are not really in organized spots. He can't really get around. The only drones are really up in the top left. He has 19 drones. The remaining ones are about to get annihilated up in the main base.
A few Mutalisks were trying to get to their brethren, but they were unable to do so. They got sniped out by some Stalkers, and meanwhile, he's still pushing... MC's still pushing on the main here of viOlet, going to kill off the remainder of the tech as well as buildings there, but there's still a ton of money that viOlet has. How many drones does he actually have out on the map? Not many.
Well, right now, it looks like the total drone count is 16 for viOlet. He's trying to move around to the left side and has this gigantic Roach Hydra army again. In the Army tab, we see 140 Army supply for viOlet, 125 Army supply for MC.
There's still a few drones mining over to this left-hand side here. viOlet's army, though, can be so formidable if he acts in the right angle. But again, there's so many force fields here for MC. There's two Colossi that are going to rain down havoc from the sky, figuratively speaking. And...
Oh, viOlet needs to run those drones at the left. He needs to get those drones out of there. He really can't try to engage this. What are those roaches doing? But it looks like viOlet has found all the nexuses up on the top side. Oh my god, where are the probes? Where are the probes? There's only one probe on the entire map. I don't even know where he is. There he is. He's in the top left. He's behind the natural expansion for MC.
Oh, he's making more pylons. These two next are going to go down, but right now viOlet doesn't know how many probes are left out on the map, how much money his opponent has left. He's going to try and hunt down the remaining buildings. The Mutalisks are going to try and be the saving grace here. They're allowing viOlet to have so much mobility whilst trying to dart around, but he's losing the rest of his Roaches and Hydras. They're completely pinned in.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Did he do this twice in a row? Oh, I don't believe it. All the Mutalisks need to pull out of there. What is the unit count? It's 13 Mutalisks, and that's it.
MC, I cannot... He's making extractors. He's made some kind of makeshift village up to the top, not even really making too much sense, but the buildings are there anyway. All he has... He could just leave his Stalkers... Well, I mean, he'd have to separate hard. Oh, God, that kind of sucks. But the Mutalisks are just going to constantly dive around, trying to kill off everything. And, I mean, viOlet hasn't been revealed. So these bases have not been seen by MC thus far, apart from this one to the left.
Wow, what a game. What a freaking psychotic game again. It's the perfect way to end this series.
Oh, the Mutalisks.
This is gonna cancel. Oh no, the Mutalisks get obliterated by that blink. Only 9 remain now. Get out of there, viOlet. Get out. No, he's trying to engage. Oh, MC, who was stuck on 2 base all game long, just did continued excellent decision-making.
I think if viOlet would have just kept dancing around and tried to... Well, I mean, he would have never seen the other buildings because they weren't being revealed, because the Nexus was going down. He saw the Nexus, but couldn't actually determine that there were other buildings around. He's going to try and hold on, but MC has now the luxury of separating his units. He's going to kill off a few more Mutalisks. GG! It's fun. Oh my god.
Unreal. MC advances like that.